And Senator Elizabeth Warren, who has a very controversial past, which we will get to in just a minute, is now taking the lead on attacking and obstructing President Trump. Now, last night, Warren took to the Senate floor to smear and slander Jeff Sessions. It got so bad that the Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, had to invoke Rule 19, which states, quote, "No senator in debate shall directly or indirectly by any form of words impute to another senator or to other senators any conduct or motive unworthy or unbecoming of a senator." But of course, Senator Warren didn't stop there. She followed up her Senate floor performance by declaring that Democrats are now the party of opposition. Watch this.
The way I see it is that Democrats have the minority in the House, the minority in the Senate, but that does not make us the minority party. We are the party of opposition, and that is our job.
In other words, the party of what? Madonna, Ashley Judd, Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter? Now, this is not the first time that Senator Warren has gone off the deep end, if you will, and into the gutter to score cheap political points. You may remember when she viciously attacked Donald Trump during a campaign rally. This was with Hillary Clinton. Take a look at this.
I got news for you, Donald Trump. Women have had it with guys like you. And nasty women have really had it with guys like you. Get this, Donald. Nasty women are tough. Nasty women are smart. And nasty women vote.
Nasty women. You sound just like Ashley Judd. Now, Senator Warren is perfectly willing to throw stones, but tonight she needs to remember she lives in a glass house, and here's why. Now, back in 2012, when Elizabeth Warren was first running for Senate, her opponent, then Senator Scott Brown, exposed she isn't exactly honest in any way about her heritage. That's why Donald Trump gave her the nickname Pocahontas. Now, according to the Boston Globe, back in 1984, Warren and members of her family contributed recipes to a Native American cookbook where she signed her name, Elizabeth Warren Cherokee. Then in 1986, Warren listed herself as a, quote, minority in the American Associate of Law Schools Directory of Faculty, which is commonly used by recruiters. And then in the early 1990s, she was hired by Harvard as a law professor, and the university actually touted Warren's phony ancestry. And then in 1995, Elizabeth Warren, she stopped listing herself as a minority after she took a tenured position at Harvard Law School. Of course, after being exposed as fake Pocahontas, she claimed that she didn't know Harvard had used her unconfirmed heritage to appear more diverse. Warren also denied that she ever used her unproven lineage to gain a professional advantage. Instead of coming forward and being honest, back in 2012, during the height of the controversy, Warren instead lied and said this.
As I said, these are my family stories. I have lived in a family that has talked about Native American, and talked about tribes since I've been a little girl. I still have a picture on my mantle at home, and it's a picture my mother had before that, a picture of my grandfather. And my Aunt Bee has walked by that picture at least 1,000 times, remarked that her father, my papa, had high cheekbones, like all of the Indians do, because that's how she saw it. And she said, and your mother got those same great cheekbones, and I didn't. She thought this was the bad deal she had gotten in life. Being Native American has been part of my story, I guess, since the day I was born. I don't know any other way to describe it.
High cheekbones? Family stories? Really? Now, that's fake Pocahontas' proof that she's a Native American. Now, the truth is, there is zero proof to back up Elizabeth Warren and her lie. In fact, the 2012 scandal didn't stop her from writing about these, quote, family stories and high cheekbones in her 2014 book. Now, as you can imagine, the scandal over fake Pocahontas' heritage isn't the only stain on her record. Senator Warren is as far left as Democrats come. You might remember back in 2011 when she said this.
There is nobody in this country who got rich on his own. Nobody. You built a factory out there, good for you, but I want to be clear, you moved your goods to market on the roads the rest of us paid for. Yep. You hired workers the rest of us paid to educate. You were safe in your factory because of police forces and fire forces that the rest of us paid for.
All right, that's pretty amazing. More alt-radical left than even Obama. So my message tonight to Senator Warren and the Democrats is simple. If you want to obstruct, you want to slow down the president's agenda and hurt the country, then you will own the suffering of millions of Americans out of work, millions of Americans who are on food stamps, millions of Americans living in poverty. In other words, all of the Americans that have suffered under your failed leftist ideology the last 8 years. Now, the American people rejected your failed policies. That was back in November. And if you want to be obstructionist, then guess what? They'll do it again in 2018 and then 2020. And by the way, President Trump is not going to roll over. He's going to fight back like he always does. Here's President Trump talking earlier today about the legal challenge to his temporary travel ban. Take a look.
Courts seem to be so political, and it would be so great for our justice system if they would be able to read a statement and do what's right. And that has to do with the security of our country, which is so important. I think it's sad. I think it's a sad day. I think our security is at risk today, and it will be at risk until such time as we are entitled and get what we are entitled to as citizens of this country.
Now, let me be very clear to fake Pocahontas and all her leftist friends. If your obstruction, if your judge shopping results in terrorists gaining entrance to this country, and if Americans are killed, it will be all of you, not President Trump, that have blood on your hands. And it is you who are choosing to gamble with the lives of the American people over the slight inconvenience of a few visitors to this great country of ours. Here now.